I am standing in front of the South Hall of the Las Vegas Convention Center for a show called World of Concrete. It's a big show. I have been to this show before and have concentrated on the outdoor exhibits, but this year I'm going inside. This show is celebrating its 50th anniversary. This is now an Informa company show. And you can see as we're looking around that a lot of people come to the front of the show and have pictures taken in front of this sign. Here we go inside the World of Concrete 2024. Wow, this is a crowded hall, South Hall. See the lady in the yellow shirt, she scanned my code here as I came in, and by the time I came up to the counter, my badge was ready and given to me. All I had to do was show my driver's license. This was very slick. Conventions keep changing. In the past, one would come to a huge bookshelf with all kinds of publications on it, even in the concrete business. But look here, now publications are digital. This gentleman is explaining Concrete Connie. Okay.
So we batched concrete in Eastport, Maine, which is the furthest, most eastern portion of the United States, and we kept it fresh using one of our chemical admixtures and drove it all the way to California and kept it soft for 7 days, or over 4,000 miles. And then we recycled it with fresh concrete to show that concrete can be recycled and sustainable.
Ah, okay. Is that a new kind of a claim, or is that always?
No, we've had the technology for a couple of decades, but we have a lot of new people in our industry that have not heard of the technology. And so the idea was to create an awareness to the younger generation moving up into the concrete industry of what we're able to do with chemical technology to make concrete more sustainable.
Okay, because I had heard that when you see these concrete mixers, they don't go very far because you're supposed to keep the concrete fresh.
Yeah, there's typically in the industry a short haul time from the concrete production location to a project, but with the retarding admixtures and the hydration stabilizing admixtures, we can make that haul time longer. So you can travel into the desert, you can travel out to a barge and put a concrete truck on a barge and take it to the ocean or a lake for an offshore structure. The sky is the limit. So with the admixture technology today, we can transport concrete long distances.
Well, I did not know that. What is your name?
My name is Mark Berry. I'm with Master Builder Solutions.
Okay, Mark, thank you very much. Jeremy and I'm at the Rapid Set booth. Now, what does that mean, Rapid Set?
It means setting very fast. So typically, your product could take hours to set, a regular Portland product, but with the CTS Rapid Set product, our product will set in 15 minutes and you can drive a car in an hour. So if you need to get your job done quickly, this is the booth to be at. Now,
does it cost twice as much, or?
Yeah, there is some additional cost to it, but as we always say, time is money. So if you could save the time, spend a little extra money, you get on and off your job a lot quicker.
15 minutes?
15 minutes it'll set, driving a car on in an hour.
I'll be darned. Yeah. Thank you very much,
You're
Jeremy.
welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
Lavina Super Abrasive is a company that produces machines that polish and grind in the concrete business. There were men looking at one of these machines in detail. I asked the gentleman here where this company is located. He says U.S. in Georgia, manufactured in Bulgaria. So, welcome Bulgaria to Las Vegas. Curious at U.S. saws, why saws were needed with regard to concrete. And the young woman over there explained to me that concrete can deteriorate and you need saws to go in and clean out the joints so they can be refilled. U.S. Saws is located in California. Anyway, I guess I didn't realize that saws were an important part of maintaining concrete. To a salesman here at Solomon Colors, and he explained in these samples, here we're talking the original concrete. This is an overlay that makes the surface ready for application of an overlay or a coating. Sometimes your concrete, he said, is in such a terrible shape you're better off tearing it up and starting over, but if your concrete is structurally sound, then you may go with the overlay and the final product. Here are some of the overlays that are available. He said sometimes the same guy that lays the concrete may do the overlay, other times it's a different person. But you can see here, concrete is not just the color of the highway. It can be many different things. Many different things. Bet this was popular. WAV Stone sculpture, and they take concrete and make it look like rock.
White shirt, gray pullover. For questions about any other concrete products, please look for those. And again, white or blue shirts. Have a great show, guys. Thank you for your attention.
Education is an important part of this show. This poster is on the show floor. Touting speakers. These were so pretty, I couldn't help but stop at this booth. This is Dakota. It is an Italian company, and it was explained to me that these are catch basins. And you would normally put them underground and catch water on the top and divert it somewhere else with the pipe that fits in one of these holes. I said, oh, it's a shame, they're too beautiful. And when you lay the concrete, it can be in different colors. This is Brick Form's color mix that takes a patio from plain to maybe brick red. I'm curious about these things. They look sort of like tabletops, but it was explained to me that these are float pans. And when concrete is being laid, there is sometimes rocks at the top of the bunch of concrete, and you take the float pans and you smooth out the whole system. So here they are, float pans, not tabletops. I stopped at the Chapen booth because I noticed they were making sprayers of some kind, and a gentleman here explained to me sprayers can be many different things. You can't put some chemicals in certain other sprayers, etc. And we walked around and looked and talked, and I saw the catalog, and there's lots of different things in the catalog, and on and on and on. Turns out Chapen, which is based in New York with facilities in several other places in the U.S., is 140 years old, and it's a family-owned company. That's amazing that all these generations have stayed in touch with the company. And business is good. So if you need a sprayer of any kind, everything from salt on a snowy driveway to chemicals that are needed for who knows what, Chapen is the company to call. Little guy, and he's got with him a little guy learning the business. Guess who's here with lots to show? customers. Well, didn't expect this along the one of the main aisles, but here it is. This is Sunbelt Rentals. I stopped at this company, NCFI, because I couldn't quite understand. They talk in signs about polyurethane. And the gentleman here explained that they are a chemical manufacturer, I think North Carolina and in Texas. I can't remember what he said. But anyway, NCFI makes chemicals, and you can inject the chemicals. Let's say you have a highway where for some reason part of the highway seems to have sunk. You can drill a hole in the concrete and inject the chemicals. The chemicals turn to foam and will lift that part of the highway, fill the void and lift that part of the highway so it's level. That can happen with sidewalks, etc. Anyway, I can see that we have sidewalks in our community that might need a lift. So this is NCFI. Proline Decorative Concrete Systems, and I'm looking at a turtle here. It looks like a turtle plastic rug, but then here's what you can do with it. You can decorate concrete with these systems. Very nice. And there's a whole lower South Hall floor, and it is packed. Onion surface prep. These discs are all used to make concrete shine. He says like a mirror. This is in Indiana. Jim Geyser from Polylock, and I stopped because I saw these things on a table and I didn't know what they were, and he said
they're concrete accessories, rebar support products and stacking chairs and pyramid clips.
Here you could see the rebar
bearing
support.
pads.
Polylock, where are you located?
We're in Wallingford, Connecticut.
I'm at the Stego booth, and they say industry-leading barriers, and Christian explained what does that mean.
Yes, so we're the most widely specified vapor barrier in the industry. So this is our flagship product. It's a very high performance below slab vapor barrier. So it goes underneath the concrete, stops water vapor, soil gases, that sort of thing from getting into the building.
I never knew there was a barrier under concrete.
Yeah, it's required on most commercial projects. So you'll see this or another product like this under just about every commercial and now residential as well.
Okay. How's business?
What's that?
How is business?
Doing great. Yeah, so construction's, on the uphill, so everything's going well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Not much public seating at this show, but what there is occupied. I stopped at on-site equipment because I didn't understand the sign turns any skid steer into a floor scraper. And the young woman here explained that skid steer is a generic term which can cover any kind of equipment like a bobcat, and they make this equipment which attaches to the bobcat, and suddenly you have a floor scraper. Does that mean you can take up tile? You can take up tile. Okay, I'm learning stuff every minute. Thank you. I stopped at ACU Concrete because I was curious. Well, first of all, they were giving away a flashlight, and secondly, I wondered what it is they do. And this lady here was explaining to me, what is it that you do at this company?
Well, we manufacture a board gypsum underlayment called ACU Concrete, and then our product goes on top of a sound mat called ACU Quiet, and it's primarily
this is like a sound. Whoops, here it is.
This is your sound mat right here, and this is primarily used in multifamily construction. So multifamily would be student dormitories, it would be hotels, it would be apartments, condos, low-income housing, anything that has multiple floors to it. Typically those buildings are wood frame construction, but they can be steel frame construction.
So they're wood frame, and then they get this kind of concrete
on top of that.
Okay.
Yeah. We pour it on top, depending on what the architect has specified. It can be poured on top of the sound mat, or it can be poured directly to the substrate, the wood substrate.
Okay, but the sound, if somebody lives above you, you don't want.
Right. You have a minimum sound code that you have to meet in multifamily construction.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so...
Where's your company located?
Our company is located in Orland, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
I'll be darned. Okay. Just hearing about that on TV last night. I can't remember why, but I was. Okay, thank you very much and welcome to Las Vegas. The company is Sprintest from Germany, and I stopped and asked, and the gentleman with a slight German accent was having trouble communicating with me, and finally he said Hoover. I said, oh, vacuum cleaners. Yes, vacuum cleaners for industry made by Sprintest. Sprintest, yes. The sign says The Edge, the easiest and most affordable way to pour cast-in-place concrete countertops. And here is one sample in their booth. Are other edges one could get in a kitchen redoing countertops. Sign, coveryourugly.com, rubber stone, playgrounds and splash pads. And they remind me of good times, and I suppose I must head toward those good times and leave this show. I've learned so much. World of Concrete, 50th anniversary. I will see you next year, God willing.